welcome to a new my take on. I've had to switch the rooms for my recording. I might be out of sync. This is an older computer. Anyway, I wanted to finish the ghost thing, but the other computer broke down and I'm still getting files off of it, and that's where the file I need to edit is on, so I have to wait until I get everything and I'm sure of. So I decided to switch to another topic that I was speaking on before. It's one that I think it's a risk to talk about. So this is what people believe in the Bible refers to homosexuality. If you ask Jews, they might say the same thing. But before I introduce that, I would like to say that these verses have been passed down from generation to generation, and they may have gotten different spins on them since they were first written. The original may have only applied to male temple prostitutes. I've seen people argue that online. It's just a possibility. It doesn't say for sure anywhere, but it's just a suggestion that that's what it might have applied to. And what I'm getting into is looking at the literal translation of these verses into English so that you understand it's confusing with what they came up with as a translation. Anyway, I'm going to read the first one I found in my Bible from Hebrew to English. It's interlinear. I bought this many years ago, so bear with me. First I have to find the verse. But they have them marked off strangely in this, so I will have to read it to you. It says, this starts off with, let me go down here. Okay, verse 13 of Leviticus 20. But let me read to you from where it actually starts. It says 13 here, but it doesn't make sense, so I have to take half of what's marked out as 12 to even closely make sense of this, okay? Let's see. So it starts off after a word translated daughter-in-law of him. So alright, I will start with the half of 12 before 13. Okay, well, it starts with a word that says woman, lyings of man, with he lies, who and man, on them, bloods of them, on them, bloods of them. They must die, to die both of them. They did detestable. And that's where I'm ending it, because it doesn't actually say what they've made it say. Or they marked 13 doesn't make any sense. Because, we'll read the other part of this too. But then, right after that, it goes back to this wicked mother of her and woman he marries, who and man. So where are they picking out this verse that says if a man lies with a man as one lies with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable? That's what I'm trying to find, because it's just not possible in this portion to put that together. So I'm not sure where they're getting it there. I don't know how they picked it out, unless after years of reading it they kind of extracted it out like a long time ago. So let's go to the other one they mark as against being gay in this book. Okay, 1822. Okay, let's find 22 on the side. It says, do not lie with a man as one lies with a woman, that is detestable. Okay. But let's go back to, let's read the 22 verse, which is marked out. I can't even find where they're talking about in here. Still trying to find where the man part is. Okay, no, I don't. Alright, well, we'll go to 22. But what is called 22? Why don't I read what's marked out as 21 through 23? 21 and 22 should be sufficient here. So 21 says, with her to defile Yahweh, I God of you, name of, you must profane, for not to the Molech, that detestable woman, ones who lie of, you lie with, not man, and with her, to defile emission of you, you give not animal, and with any of. So, reading that is also very confusing. I don't see how they're even making this into English and finding that in the verse. I mean, it says somehow that in a book from a Jewish person, I read that they say that that's wrong, but reading the literal, I'm not finding what they're talking about. So, let me see some of these other marked out verses here. I'm doing Old Testament today, so I have to only do that off this page. Okay, this is going to be a long one to read. Genesis 19, 1 through 38. Now let me see how far I actually need to read. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. Well, maybe I should start before that. Or, well, why don't I paraphrase what was supposed to have happened before that? The two angels met with Abraham, and now they went to Sodom and Gomorrah to find Lot, and that's where this starts. So we will read. We'll start with 19:1. Well, okay. So 33 here says, well, unless that's marked at the end, it says, at Sodom the angels two of, and they arrived. And this is starting 19:1 apparently. To home of him he returned Lot when he saw Sodom in gateway of sitting, and Lot in the evening sea? And he said, To ground faces, and he bowed to meet them. Then he got up. And wash and spend night, servant of you, house of two now, turn, lords of me now. No, but they said, On way of you, and you may go, then you may rise, feet of you strongly with them. But he persisted. We will spend night in the square, for he prepared house of him too. And they entered with him, and they went before. And they ate, he baked, and bread without yeast, meal for them. Around they surrounded Sodom, men of the city, now men of. They went to bed to last one, the people all of old and two from young. The house they came, who the men were to him, and they said, Lot too, and they called, but he went with them, so we can have sex to us bring them. The night to you now, not. And he said after him, he shut in the door to the outside, Lot to them. They slept not, who daughters two of them to me now. See, you do evil, friends of me, in eyes of you, as the good to them, and you do to you them now. Let me bring man under shelter of. They came for anything, you do not these to the men, but he came the one, and they said, Away, get. But they replied, Roof of me to you, we will treat worse now to judge. And he would judge to be alien, and they moved strongly against Lot, against the man, and they pressed then them, hand of them, the men, but they reached out the door to break down. They shut the door, and into the house to them, Lot, and they pulled. With the blindness they struck the house door of who the men, and then they said, The door to find, so they gave up great and two from small, or sons of you, son-in-law, here with you, who else Lot to the men, the place from bring out in the city to you, who or anyone or daughters of you, cry of them great, for this the place, we ones destroying, because so he went out to destroy her, Yahweh, that he sent us, Yahweh, face of daughters of him, ones being pledged, sons-in-laws of him too, and he spoke Lot, destroying, because the place from get up. And he said, sons-in-laws of him, in eyes of, as joking, but he was the city, Yahweh, to say with Lot the angels. Then they urged, he came the morning, and when the ones being here, daughters of you, two of, and wife of you, take, get up. When he hesitated, the city in punishment of you will be swept away, or wife of him, and on hand of him the men, they grasped to him, Yahweh, for merciful of daughters of him, two of, and hand of, and he was the city outside, and they set him, and they led him not, life of you, for flee, that he said to the outside them, as to bring them to the hill, the plain, in anywhere of you stop, and not back of you look, lords of me now, no to them, Lot, but he said, You be swept away or flee. And you made great in the eyes of you favor. Servant of you he found now. See, I cannot but life of me, to spare. To me you showed that kindness of you. Now see, and I die the disaster she overtake me, lest to the mountain to flee, to there now, let me flee, small, and she to there, to run near the town, see, to him, and he said, Life of me, and she will live, she small not, to overthrow me not, the this to the request also face of you I will grant to do I can not because to their flee hurry. You speak of that the town Zoar, the town name of he called this, for to there to reach you until anything and Yahweh. To Zoar he reached, when Lot the land over he rose the sun, the heavens from Yahweh from there, and fire, sulfur, Gomorrah, and on Sodom, on he reigned all of, and the plain all of, and these cities, so he overthrew. But she looked the land vegetation of the cities, the ones living of, and he got up, salt pillar of, she became behind him, wife of him. Yahweh before there he stood, where the place to in the morning. Abraham surface of olive, and to Gomorrah Sodom toward down, and he looked. And I'll stop there. That's about 28.